Maybe. This time I'd like to call to order the November 10th, 2025 Thompson County Commission meeting. Thanks for everyone being here. At this time, I'd like to ask Mr. Hamrick, to County Administrator, to please call the roll.
Commissioner Gully,
Present.
Commissioner Kittimer, present, Commissioner Buckner,
Present.
Commissioner McBride.
Present. We do have a form. If everyone please stand, I'll ask Mr. Torres to offer invocation. Commissioner Kittimer to lead our praise.
God our Father in heaven, this time of year, we're entering the time of expressing thanksgiving to many people for many things. And God, we are indeed thankful to you for all our blessings. So thankful to each other and all the people that live in this county, for especially the people that serve us each and every day and take care of us and protect us. God, we're so thankful for them and for their family. We pray you'll continue to watch over us all, God. Bless us and guide us in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Salute. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Your packet is the agenda for tonight's meeting. There are a couple of additions that we need to make for tonight. One is have a discussion about courthouse security. And so we will add into work session item 7B3, interim change to personnel policy for courthouse security overtime. And the second is Revenue Commission. Under Revenue Commission, we approved in the 2026 budget a position for a receptionist that would work at a new courthouse annex. And so the job description is in the packet, and we need to take a look and approve that tonight. So that will also be added to the work session. So do I have a motion to approve the November 10th, 2025 agenda with the additions of the work session, interim change to the personnel policy for courthouse security overtime, and work session item under Revenue Commission receptionist job description?
I make that
We have a motion, have a second.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. We do have one presentation tonight. So the commissioners will join this down under. You join us, please. Puckett worked for us in our Parks Department, and he has been with us since July 2015. He has been a member of the Park Maintenance Department. If you've had a chance to get out recently and look at the park, you see that it is in great shape. We talk about it a lot, mowing and taking care of the docks and everything else going on. And it's not just the park. At the county park on County Park Road, we have multiple parks around the county. The maintenance department does a great job. So, David, we want to recognize you for your 10 years of service to the county, and so we're going to present you with this certificate of recognition. And let me take this off of there so I can make sure I knew what I was saying. So this is a certificate of recognition that is awarded to David Puckett in appreciation for your 10 years of dedicated service to the people of Jackson County and Jackson County Commission. Presented on the 10th of November, 2025. David, thank you very much. Thank you for what you do.
It was cold out there. Snow.
So we do have one speaking tonight for public comment, Carson Roberts. So Carson, if you would, up there, and we will give you 3 minutes. And I do have, 2 questions I need to ask you just for the record, okay? State your full name
Carson Roberts,
and, your address.
149 County Road 60.
Okay, and I think you're speaking on your behalf.
Yes.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes.
So a while back, probably April last year, I started this organization because I noticed something when I was out just in the town of Pisgah, Alabama. And I noticed there was a lot of litter and trash inside of the roadways. And, it really made me sad because I have a lot of spirit and passion for my hometown and I want it to look really nice. And so I started this organization called Cleaning Pisgah. And I started going out and I started cleaning up roadways, cleaning up litter out of their roads. And I thought about it one day and I thought it would be a great thing if maybe we got no littering signage to be posted on some of the county roads. And that's what I'm here to ask about today. Just a couple of no littering signs. I got a petition put up on change.org and the community showed a bunch of support and we got almost 80 signatures on that petition. And I was thinking about it and, there's a lot of new stuff coming to Pisgah. Obviously, we got our new mayor and I'm really excited. And she actually shared this petition and I was really excited about that because not only does it show the community support, but it also shows that people care about our town, And so I was super excited about that. Some of this trash is getting in the waterways. We have the Pisgah Gorge, and that's been littering that. And that's one of the main reasons that I really would like to get some of this no littering signage. So that way, maybe I can make a change on my hometown and help the people and help the town.
Okay, let me ask you any questions or comments.
Carson, we appreciate what you do. Do you advertise the days that you're planning on cleaning so you can get help?
I do. I have a Facebook group and I have almost 40 members and I always advertise my cleanup days. We had a cleanup day, October 23rd, I'm fairly certain. And I've had a couple of people come out and help. So it's been really nice.
You had a couple out of 40?
Yeah, we get a couple.
Yeah.
A lot of them are unable to get out and help, but they're always showing support. And so I'm really, really excited about that.
I spoke to your new mayor the other day and he's excited about being on board. How much have you reached out to her?
So we've had a conversation and I've shared my stuff with, they had the city council meeting just last Monday. And then their meeting before that actually shared this idea and cleaning Pisgah with them. And so we kind of talked about it there. And from what I've seen, I've gotten a lot of community support. I'm inside the Civitan Club up there as well. And they have a lot of the people who are on the city council on that as well. And I shared that with them as well.
That's great.
Good. Any others?
Yeah, thank you. This is wonderful. Appreciate you taking the interest and taking the time. Having done similar projects for this, the best sign that you can give is a clean sideway because people are less likely to throw litter if they don't see litter. And so there will be some frustration on your part because you'll clean an area and
You'll be crafty.
But if you stick with it, then it'll be, no, let's not throw it here. Let's take it home and hopefully it stops. But kudos to you. Please get with this young lady right back here. She does a lot of this work and can hook you with some organizations that will help, and maybe you can do some mutual things. But we're proud of you for doing this, and thank you for sharing this project with us.
Thank you.
And I think, go ahead.
I just appreciate you being young and taking pride in the community and that effort, and it shows the character.
Thank you.
My comment is I think it's a very good idea about the no littering signs, and let us take a look at that. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
With that, we will move into the new business portion of our meeting. And we have several items to discuss tonight and vote on. First is, always, there is in your packet minutes from previous meetings. And so we have the minutes from the October 14th, 2025 meeting and October 27th, 2025 meeting. So do I have a motion to adopt the minutes for the October 14th, 2025 meeting and work session and the October 27th, 2025 meeting?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion, do we have a second? We have a second, any questions? Not all in favor, say aye. Motion carries, thank you. Next item is, we talked about in the last work session. One of the comments that came up in that work session is we need to include the vehicles as a component of that, this item. And the item is approve and sign on the motion here is to approve and sign the county property animal policy. And this policy would restrict animals in all county buildings, as well as came up in the last time meeting was to restrict them on in county vehicles. That adjustment has been made to the policy. So with that, do I have a motion to approve and sign the county property policy?
Make the motion.
We have a motion, have a second. Second. We have a second, all in favor, say aye. Motion carries, thank you. Next item up is annually we approve the senior RX program. This is just like the previous program that we had. So let me turn it over to Director Coleman to discuss this.
Thank you, gentlemen. This is the annual contract that we have between us and TARCOG that allows us to receive the $24,000 in funding to go towards our senior RX program. So there's been no changes in the funding or anything in the contract. It's just an annual renewal.
Well, this is a little late, but if you look at the period of performance, it's October the 1st, 2025 through September the 31st, 2026. But this is a very important program for our seniors. So with that, do I have a motion to approve and sign the annual contract with TARCOG for the Council on Aging Senior RX program?
I'll make it.
We have a motion, have a second.
Second.
We have a second, all in favor, say aye. Motion carries, thank you. Last item in new business is we discussed in our last meeting, a couple of meetings ago, that we need to make a couple of budget amendments. The items that would be considered is the school resource officer pay. The county school system has agreed to increase the pay for our SROs, and so we need to make a budget amendment to acknowledge the receipt of that increase as well as in the expenditure of that. The second was Jackson County Revenue Commission had some funds for last year that we will expend this year. So this is a carryover of those funds into this year. The jail litter control that we discussed at that meeting, that has previously been under the solid waste department, but we have removed those funds, $10,000 from solid waste, and we need to put that into the budget for our jail. And then rural public transportation. This is good news. We did get a grant this year, and real quick, let me ask Director Coleman to discuss that.
Every now and then, when there's still federal dollars left over, they'll pass it through to ALDOT, and then they'll pass some of those funds down to us. So this year we received approximately $100,000, which at the way our budget's set up, the 50-50 match, it's what, 53, is that exact? 50. So we're actually, it's 53,000 and change positive for our budget. So that's how that works. So that's good news.
Let me ask County Administrator Mr. Randall, the process here will be to account for that in revenue, but also reduce the need for
Yes, sir. So the rural public transportation budget relies on a transfer in from the general fund. So in that additional revenue for RPT, it reduces the need for their budget to be balanced from the general fund. So that shows in this transfer out to COA being reduced.
Okay. The next item that we'd like to allow Mr. Henry to discuss is emergency management agents grant. For years now, through state EMA, we would get some supplement for our emergency management office if our director was certified. And Director Wickham is certified, and so I think that's about 38,000. I may be wrong on the number, but we got that additional fund from EMA. We have been notified by state EMA that those funds are no longer being supported by FEMA through state EMA. And so let me talk about the implications of that.
So the state EMA received word from FEMA that it's the EMPG grant. It's an annual grant that FEMA sends to the state sends down to the counties to help support emergency management. But they have given word that, and the grant is typically paid for the fiscal year immediately following. So typically around this time, we would receive the fiscal year 25 money. We received word that that money is not coming for last fiscal year, and that they're still asking us to fill out the paperwork and get it in case the money does come back for this year. But as of right now, it has not been authorized. And so the budget amendment that's included is to remove that from the budget, which increases dollar for dollar from the general fund that's needed to fund the EMA budget.
Okay, any questions on that? So with that, do I have a motion to approve the budget amendment for the following? School Resource Officer pay, Jackson County Revenue Commission, jail litter control, rural public transportation, and emergency management agency grant.
Make a motion.
We have a motion, do I have a second?
No, second that.
We have a second, any questions or discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries, thank you. That concludes the last item in the new business portion of the meeting. We will move into the work session. We have several items there to discuss. First, under solid waste, we have two items. One is surplus of roll-off truck, and then second is purchase of roll-off truck. Director Skipper.
Chairman, Commissioners, thank you for letting me speak tonight. Thank you, Misty, for pulling up. You'll see this is the truck that I'm requesting us to sell. It is should have a piece of paper from J.M. Wood. 2015, they listed it as a 2016, but it's a 2015 Max Grant roll-off truck. We purchased it when we got into business of roll-off. This has been a good truck, but it's 10 years old, and we haven't put a lot of big dollars into it. We put some small dollars into it. This is our oldest truck, so I'd like to now surplus this truck and sell it. You can see J.M. Wood, they gave us a guaranteed price of $67,500. We paid the 7% on that. Then you can see the new truck that I'm requesting is purchased. The sister truck to this is the newer version. It's a 2026. It comes with a 5-year, 250,000 mile engine warranty and a 5-year limited mile transmission warranty. That's been kind of a big thing what we're looking at nowadays, because we've had to replace a couple of transmissions and engines here past couple of years on trucks these age.
Any questions?
Do your roll-off trucks have interior technology like the trash truck?
What are you asking?
Cameras and stuff?
No, sir.
Okay, so it's just a budget. I'm just looking for future expense. Going to-
Now, this is it. This will be the expense.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, we'll put this on the agenda for the next meeting.
Thank you.
Okay. Next item for discussion is under commission. It is a change orders for the parking lot. We received last week several change orders. In fact, there are 7. I'll give you a status of those. There we have had JMIH and supporting contract for this program. In terms of, they are the contractors, it is our engineering contractor, and they've taken a look at these. 2 items have been recommended for approval. 1 item has been recommended for rejection. 3 items are under review to make sure we clearly understand the amount of earth and debris that is being removed. And another item is under review. And so if you look, you have the change orders in the packet. Item number 1 is under review. To make sure that we clearly understand the amount of dirt and rock and other items that have been removed. But let me back up just a minute and as we look at these. Whenever we signed the contract with Raines Associates, in the start of work meeting, there was a recognition that we may not clearly understand the amount of dirt and debris we have to remove. And there had been some work to do some drilling to try to understand the condition of the earth that was there that we were going to build a new parking lot on. But there was a recognition that that had a high water table and there may be need to remove more than what was in the contract. The contract provided for 450 cubic yards of removal yardage. And so as we got into this process, we realized that we did have some real issues with the water table and back there that required some additional removal. So as I go through these, that was the basis. So to let you know what the contract said. Under this proposed change order, one of the areas that they found some rock, they found rock conditions in that parking lot. And there was some rock that had to be removed. And so the amount of rock to be removed under this change order is under review to make sure we clearly understand how much was actually removed. And so we want to make sure we're in a position to do that. So we are delaying this approval of this until at least the next meeting, until we have an agreement on how much was removed from the lot. Item number 2 was rejected. The proposal from the associate was to replace a drainage pipe that ran along the east side of the building. It had been damaged, and that pipe had been damaged in one area of the pipe. This is rejected, so not to replace the whole pipe, the length of the whole pipe, but simply repair the damaged area of the pipe. So item number 2 has been rejected. They have been directed to repair the pipe. Item number 3 is recommended for approval. This one is change orders to install additional conduit for a data line. There is in the contract for power conduit as a part of the design for the parking lot. But one of the things that we need to have is we need to have data conduit so that our employees can use their entry cards to be able to access the parking lot. And so we need to run an additional line. So the recommendation is to approve of this for tonight. Item number 4 is also under review. This item is to remove existing sidewalk from the south end of the house, of the handicap pairing to the corner and replace as requested. The question here was what was the length of the sidewalk to be removed and replaced? And so they have taken another review of that. They do have the proper length, but we need to get another change order in to make sure that we have the right change order. So that will be delayed until the next meeting. Next item is item number 5. This is also recommended for approval. That is to furnish and install ADA warning safety mats as required by the Scottsboro City Inspector. These are the mats that visually impaired folks, as they're walking up to the sidewalk, they will be able to feel that they are approaching the sidewalk. And you see those around the city. And so for ADA compliance, they need to have those mats in our handicapped areas. And so the recommendation is to approve this. Item number 5 is to undercut the parking lot, and this was to remove soil from the parking lot. And so this is another area that we need to review to make sure we clearly understand how much soil was removed before we approve this, and make sure that we have the right price and the right yardage for removal. So this has been recommended to the way until we have that information. Item number 7 is for evacuate on the side of the existing storm sewer under the parking lot to replace suitable soil and gravel. And this is another area that we want to make sure that we have the right amount of soil that had to be removed before we approve this. So these are under review. We will bring them back to the commission at the next meeting for consideration. The recommendation tonight is to approve change orders 3 and 5. We'll have to set aside the rules to do that. That would allow the contractor to get the material necessary to do that work. But we will then reject item number 2, and then to have the other items under review and bring forward. And so let me open up a comment. I will say that we have taken a look at this. We have sat down with a contractor as we reviewed these, and he understands the data that we need to make sure that we can likely evaluate the other changes. Commissioner Gully and I were involved in a meeting with him Friday, so let me, Mr. Gully, any comment?
No, some of the work has been previously performed. And then there's the time sensitivity on the 2 that we're wishing to approve. The one that we're delaying is to get additional information on, and I have absolutely no problem with approving, these 2 coming forward for approval. I've sat down with the architect, the chairman, and the contractor. These are all duly noted, the 2 that we're bringing forward.
I'll say, so any other questions, comment?
Just a comment of thank you for staying vigilant on this, and us not paying for stuff that doesn't need to be performed. So thank you for that.
Okay, any other? If not, I want to show you some photographs of the parking lot and what we have requested here. So these photos were taken about just short of 2 weeks ago. This was in the early stages of taking out material and earth and stones from the parking lot. So you can see the amount of material that had to be taken out. So if you just go through this is a series of photographs that just to show us the extent of what was dug out of that area where the parking lot's going to be. Next photo. You see here, by that photo, you see the depth of the digging in some cases that they had to get to get down, either below stone to get stone out or to get to where we were able to handle the wetness of that area. Next photo, another photo. And this one was taken this morning. So that material has come out of the parking lot, and we have started to backfill the parking lot. So next photo. So the backfill, the requirement of the contractor is once they have removed that soil, they have to backfill. to a subgrade, with, in this case, to this church. And so that this morning, this is near complete. The next step of this will be run the conduit we were talking about to the station where you'll have the entry for the employees. And then we'll put overlay of gravel. Once the gravel is in, they'll put the curbing in, and once the curbing's in, it'll be ready for paving. And so we will pave this part. This is a new parking lot that we will have for our county employees. There's about 60 parking spaces there. And we will overlay an 1.5-inch overlay on the original parking lot that is in front of the building, so that it is in very good condition when we open. And that parking lot will have 125 spaces that will be reserved for our customers in the county courthouse annex. So that's the status of where we are. We are progressing. If everything goes well, we will be in a position to open the doors on the 5th of January for services at the new Jackson County Courthouse Annex. So with that, we will need to set aside the rules to approve the two recommended. So do I have a motion to set aside the rule?
Make the motion.
We have a motion, have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Do I have a motion to approve change order 3 and change order 5?
I'll make that
We
motion.
have a motion. Do I have a second? We have a second. All in favor, say aye. Motion carries. Thank you very much. And we will bring the others before the commission at the next meeting on the 24th. Next item in the agenda is a fire alarm monitoring system. One of the things that we need in the annex is to have a fire alarm monitoring system. And so let me turn this over to Director Dan.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Commissioners. We were unaware that this part wasn't in the contract till just a very short time ago. Thank the company that put it in. They offer services, and that's one of the that we have in there, but it wasn't in the contract for whatever reason. In your packet, you should have one from Gallagher. And then one from Excel. And we need this so that we can get our final fire inspection done on the building. Gallagher is the company that put the system in. They are a company out of Chattanooga. They have a one-time connection fee to get started on these services. That's $300, and it's $45 a month. After that, it comes out to $840 for an annual contract for the first year. That includes the connection fee. On the other one, Excel Fire Protection, they are a company out here in Scottsboro. Their connection fee is $425 with a $600 a year fire monitoring system fee. And it comes out to about $1,025 a year.
And the purpose of this is that whenever the fire alarm goes off, that
This will be the company that calls 911.
they call, the delay time is about
50 seconds, and that's for both of them. They'll be for each, for any monitoring system, there's a phone number, a couple of phone numbers that you'll give them. They'll try one, and you can set up the terms how you want them, who they're trying to call, or how many times they call or what. But if we give them, one number to call, nobody answers, then they call 911 and send them out there. So,
In your determination, biggest difference between these two besides the price?
location. I mean, there's the who's actually monitoring it. That doesn't, just because the company's here in Scottsboro, it's not really them in Scottsboro that's monitoring it. They're using outside companies to monitor this stuff. So but that's really it.
So your recommendation?
I mean, I would recommend Gallagher if we if we did it about how we normally do it with, we allow 15% over, for a local contractor to take care of this stuff. I think it comes out to like $950 is what we would allow, that we would still go with a local contractor, but they're over a little bit more than that, about another $100, so. Mine would be Gallagher. I've dealt with them while they've been over there. I mean, their main office is out of Chattanooga, but they have other hub offices, and I think one's in Huntsville. And anytime I call, they always answer my questions for anything. If I need them up there at the building for anything, they come up there at the building, same day. So I've had really good work with them.
We need this installed before we can get serious inspections done.
Yes, and we can't clear out our contract, we can't clear this out of the contract until this fire inspection is done.
So do we need to set aside the rules, or can this?
My recommendation would be, if we could, to set aside the rules to get this done and over with, and then we'll have a building that's set up with a fire alarm that's ready to monitor, even though we don't have any people from the courthouse working over there yet, except for us.
Any questions, comments? Do I have a motion to set aside the rules?
Motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. We have a second, all in favor, say aye. We have a motion to approve the award of contract to Gallagher for fire alarm monitoring service.
And
I'll make that motion.
I'm sorry.
We have a motion, we have a second. We have a second, all in favor, say aye. Motion carries.
The next year, if we decide to go back to this company, we'll have to bring this to a meeting every year, to renew contract. If we decide to go to this company, it would just be $540 next year for it.
Next item is interchange for personnel policy for courthouse security overtime. So let me have that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. So, we've been having a problem with shortage of people. We're starting to fix that. We've got one in the academy now. We've got two that are probably going to be going in January, and one, maybe a third one in January. So we're getting close to being full. The problem is, that's the good news. The bad news is our one full-time employee that was working courthouse security has resigned, and he left last Wednesday. That leaves us with two part-time people that don't want to work full-time. So we're having to fill in those spots with people off the road. I don't have the people on the road to bring in every day. So if I could bring in people off duty to work and pay them overtime, I'm sure I can get people to work. That doesn't take away from the citizens out in the county that need their help and the other jobs we have to do. So I know in the past we have not been able to do that. It comes out of two different budgets, but I think we've got that kind of worked out if y'all would approve it. So I'm asking that we do that, at least in the short term, until we can get some other thing figured out on courthouse security. It's not something that any young deputy wants to sit at a door and monitor people's purses and bags when they come in. I get it. It's more for somebody that's getting ready to retire. We don't have any of those right now. So even if I hired people right now, we don't have anybody who wants to do the job. So I'm asking for this just in the short term. I don't know how long it'll be before we can come up with another fix for the problem. Whether it be go to a security company, or whether we can maybe hire people that want to do this. I don't know.
Okay. Let me open for discussion.
Thank you for your work on this. I know you and I have talked about the challenges that you're facing. And I know you don't know a time frame. But I think for budgetary security, we need to set one. So, I mean, what do you think would be a fair time frame? I mean, we can obviously renew this if.
I think it's something that we're going to have to sit down together and work out. I just don't know the fix. The good news is, so we've got two full-time budgeted slots that we're not paying for. So that money would come out of that. And that's money that's there for 2 full-time spots, plus the 2 part-timers that work occasionally. So that'll help out with that. It won't be a big change in the budget, I don't think. Very, very small amount.
Is there any chance of other county retirees coming over? Doing that?
They'd have to be APO certified. Go to the police academy.
That's good, checked
And that's
into
part of our problem.
Yeah.
You know, those people have to be APO certified to be deputies. So in order to make arrests, they've got to be APO certified. It's the law. So it doesn't mean we have to have APOS people there. We could hire a private security company. We talked about it once before. I don't know the cost. I don't know the liability issue. I haven't really looked into that. No, ACA has some type of program they can get certified through them to do those private security jobs. I'm just not familiar with it.
I was at the legislative conference last week down in Pebble. And that was a topic of courthouse security there. So I was talking to some of the other commissioners and the chairman there, and then talking with executive director, and they said throughout the state that it's a problem throughout the state. Of course, we need to probably do the overtime thing in the short term, but in the long term, they said less than 20% of counties have APO certified security. They create like a jailer position, and ACCA has a way to, in cooperation with the sheriff's thing, to get them certified with tasers and so forth, like a jailer position there instead of APOS. And they said that's what most counties are going to. There's less than 20% now that are using actually certified deputies there. We have a little in-depth conversation.
Well, I know we've had 2 shootings at the courthouse in the last 15 to 20 years. That's a lot. A taser doesn't help that problem. So that's also something to consider. Yes, private security, we can give them tasers, we can give them pepper spray. Doesn't fix you when you come in with a gun.
Just so for clarification, what we're proposing here is that patrol deputies would work their 40 hours on their shift, and then day off, we would ask them to come in on overtime to support the courthouse security.
I'll have a sign up for the days we need, and Larry and Rick are going to work some together, but they just can't do it every day. I don't know how many days a week they want to work. They're signed up to be part-time and they don't want to be full-time. And I get it.
And also, let me comment, they can't be full-time on a post-retirement contract. There's rules and regulations for that. So being retired, they have an earnings limitation and the contract says part-time. So even if they wanted to, we wouldn't be able to utilize them that way.
Well, they're like 30 something hours a week or something.
It's depending on what our policy is, but they're also under that earnings limitation. So daily, every day, all year, they would be violating the retirement system rule.
And it's typically one of the two always available, or is that, I mean, would you have to pull 2 deputies?
Hopefully not.
Okay,
I
so
think it would be 1 deputy and 1 part-timer. That's the way we've been working it with the full-timer, unless the full-timer needed to be off for some reason.
Okay.
So, and I don't think it'd be every day, but it would be several days a week.
And salaries and wages will be overstated. So some of that money can be moved to overtime to cover this. That's already been budgeted.
Okay. Recommendation of when to implement this?
I'd like to implement it ASAP. I didn't realize today I didn't have one come in. So I had to pull somebody off the road, sit there for 8 hours.
So what we're proposing to do here is, we would need to adjust the personnel on an interim basis to change the policy to allow us to bring in the deputies that's under the sheriff's budget and bring them into a job and pay for their overtime service, which is under the general fund budget. So we would need to an interim short-term change to the personnel policy to allow us to do that. So we would need to set aside the rules again.
Yes.
To be able to do this. And what would be the effective date if we do this?
The beginning of the pay period on the 3rd would allow us to include anybody that worked Thursday and Friday. Dustin didn't leave till Wednesday, but if you had someone that worked Thursday and Friday, that would include them.
I brought them in off the road. I was jeopardizing the road for that. But I just can't do that every day as short as we are.
So the point is we need to backdate this to be able to make sure that during this pay period that you can bring folks in to do this at this point.
Yes. My point is there wouldn't be any cost yet.
Retroactive to the last, beginning of the last pay period.
Which would be the October 3rd.
October 3rd.
November.
I'm sorry, November.
Which was the other ticket.
November 3rd. And so the discussion here is the need to, again, set aside the rules and take a motion to make this effective immediately.
Yes, sir.
In fact, effective November the 3rd.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a motion to set aside the rules?
Motion.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Do I have a motion to approve an interim change to the Jackson County personnel policy to authorize overtime compensation for full-time deputies for all hours worked performing courthouse security duties effective November the 3rd?
Make that motion.
We have a motion, have a second.
Second.
We have a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is on the Revenue Commission. It is for receptionist job description. The job description is in your packet. The job title is receptionist. The department, again, Revenue Commission is a non. It is a grade 4. It is safety sensitive because they have to drive vehicles in the course of their duties. You see the relationships there, certainly with the Revenue Commissioner, but basically external contacts across the county. It does list the primary functions. The real primary function of this position is to be the receptionist at the Jackson County Courthouse Annex, to be able to advise and direct people to where they need to go for the services that they're obtaining. But in addition to that, it would be responsible for other duties that sort of is assigned by the Revenue Commission. This is a position that we approved for the 2026 budget, recognizing that we would need a position at the annex for this kind of duty. So that the description, job description is in your packet. And so any questions or discussions? Okay, so this position is fully funded in the 2026 budget. Can we wait until the next meeting to approve this position? Okay, we'll do that. As soon as that is approved, we will then go out for a hire. Okay. So this will be on the next meeting's new business agenda. So that's the last item we have in our work session. We now will move to the reports from the staff, county administrators.
Nothing, sir.
County engineer. Not here tonight, here tonight off, county engineer.
I don't have anything except to say thank you to all the veterans. Large veterans. Thank you for your service.
So let me ask, Mr. Skipper. Mr. Ian. Nothing to add. Judge, anything?
No, sir.
No? Okay. Now we'll move to comments from commission, District 1, with Mr. Gold.
I'd just like to say, thank you to all the veterans that work, in the county and to all the county employees, and, have a, happy Veterans Day tomorrow. Enjoy the day off if you have.
Happy Veterans Day, and also getting close to Thanksgiving. A week to.
District 3, Commissioner Butler.
I will echo what's already been said, and stay safe and warm, everybody.
District 4, Commissioner Scott.
As always, I'd like to say thank you to all our employees for the hard work and dedication to our county to make it grow and help them that way. I want to say thank you again to Carson. The work that you put forth, it's great to see young men like you taking initiative in our county. Happy Veterans Day tomorrow, to all you veterans. You know, we have the freedoms to do the things we do because those people paid a price that many are not willing to pay. Y'all have a safe trip home.
I too would like to say, thank you to all our veterans. There's about 15.6 million veterans in our nation right now that have served. And we have veterans still living even in our County from World War II, veterans from World War II until today. We are certainly very privileged to have them and the work that they have done for us. So happy Veterans Day to everybody. And Carson, I also want to say thank you. It's great to see a young man who's willing to do something like this and try to help your community. So thank you very much. With that, our next meeting is November the 24th, and it will be here at 5 o'clock. And so with that, do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
You don't make that motion.
I have a motion, have a second?
I'll second that.
Any other second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Say 9:30.